CIO and financial advisor Bryce Carter from Financial Strategies Group is joining us again today. Welcome back to the blend, Bryce.
Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about the student loan forgiveness program and the impact on those receiving the forgiveness.
Yeah, let's clarify at least. There's probably going to be some legal challenges to this, so it's not set in stone. But I tell you what, I'm very happy for those that are getting the student loan forgiveness. I remember when I had the student loans, my wife and I, and that would have been really hugely beneficial. So
yeah.
I think when you free up a couple $100s a month in payments, and you have that long-term debt wiped, that's a huge deal. Long term, there's a lot bigger changes than actually just the $10,000 that's potentially forgiven. We're talking about income repayment plans that are very generous to the point where all student loans can be forgiven for certain people after a couple of decades. So this is a big deal. This is a big change in this education system. I do think there's probably some problems with the education system as far as how we do student loans to begin with. So this doesn't really fix this. This is a nice Band-Aid, but it starts the conversation.
Right, yeah, because we're kind of perpetuating that same cycle.
Yeah, we're incentivizing people to take the loans, which you should get an education. And if you have that ability, go get an education. That's fantastic. But the way in which we give basically blank checks to 18-year-olds that don't have their prefrontal cortex fully developed is not necessarily a great idea.
Yeah.
They don't know what they want to do.
Right.
I didn't know what I wanted to do at 18, so it's a long-term problem. This is a great start to healing the financial burdens on those that are impacted, but we really need some change on this.
Yeah. So what kind of impact do you think student loan forgiveness will have on the economy?
I do think it frees up some spending. Now, the issue is a lot of the loans have been in deferment since COVID, right? So it's not like we're going to get an instant injection into the economy, but longer term, I think it frees up spending for those people in that 25 to 45 age range that maybe haven't been able to afford a house because those loans are overhanging.
Sure.
And now that they enter into the market and they've got a little extra cash flow, and then just that weight of that encourages them to maybe do some things they've been holding back on, vacations and extra spending, the extra little. So this might encourage spending, which long term is good for the economy. Yeah. Probably not the best with this current inflation rate, but we'll see how it all unfolds.
Maybe consider investing rather than spending.
Yeah, that would be a great idea, yeah.
Well, okay, so what does this mean for future student loan borrowers?
Yeah, so if I had somebody in front of me that was asking whether they should take a student loan or not, and maybe they can work and pay off some of it now, I'd encourage them to take the loan because you know what? If they've forgiven it once, maybe they'll forgive it again in the future. If you're going to use it for the right things in education and whatnot, right?
Right.
But I think this sets a precedent where you might get things forgiven in the future.
All right, Bryce Carter, CIO and financial advisor, Financial Strategies Group in Okemos.